Welcome students to another grammar lesson. Today we're going to start the verb. Yes, you can see the verb dancing, isn't it? Wondering why? Because verbs are doing words and they express actions. So let us get to know a little more about them. Okay, so verbs can be classified into two types. One is verbs based on function, based on what work they perform. So verbs can be classified into main verbs and auxiliary verbs based on the function that they perform. For example, look at the picture. Mother and daughter, they are gardening, isn't it? They both are gardening. So they are gardening. If that is the sentence, then are is the auxiliary verb, which is also called the helping verb, and gardening is the main verb. Clear? Now, auxiliaries again further can be divided into primary auxiliaries or modal auxiliaries. We will only study primary auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries like can, would, must, we will study about them in class 7. We will not do modals this year. So we are concentrating on the primary auxiliaries like be, have, is, do, yes, are, so many other things like that. So these are auxiliary verbs. So main verbs, auxiliary verbs, these are the two types of verbs based on function. Now we come to verbs based on structure. Again, based on structure, verbs can be divided into two types. That is regular verbs, irregular verbs. I'm sure you have come across them also, but nevertheless, let us go through it once. I have made two lists for you. One is when you can see the different three forms of the verbs in the base form, the simple past, and the past participle form. The first list is the other list of regular verbs, and the second list is the list of irregular verbs. What is the difference? If you see, in the base form and the simple past and the past participle form of the regular verbs, there is not much of a difference. For example, if the verb is bake, in the simple past it is baked and the past participle is baked. Same. Okay, so you are actually adding ed to these verbs. They are not much, they don't change much in the past form or the past participle form. The regular verbs, they are called the regular verbs like bake, beg, behave, boil, borrow. There are many more in Renan Martin, there are many more in your own book itself. Okay, now this irregular verb is something which you need to be careful about when you're changing the tense. For example, the base form is awake, but the simple past is awoke, and the past participle is awoken. Be, was, were, and been. Blow, blew, blown. Build, built, built. Buy, bought, bought. Catch, caught. Okay. Choose. Now, this is something which I choose to talk about because you always make a mistake in this. When you choose something, you chose something and it was chosen. Okay, so it most of you try to get confused, you get confused in the case of irregular verbs and you treat them like regular verbs. Many of you, I have caught you speaking saying that choosed. Why? Because you are getting confused with regular and irregular verbs. Be conscious of the verb, students, when you're speaking, and then you will never go wrong. Dream, dreamt, drink, drank, drunk, eat, ate, eaten. All these are different kinds of irregular verbs, and you need to be aware of them. Got it? Verbs convey the time of action and whether it is still in progress or whether it has been completed. That is the work of a verb. What do the verbs do? Why do we use verbs? They also convey the tense. They convey the time of action, whether it was in the past, the present, or will be done in the future. So, verbs express the tenses. Tenses are what? Time, actually. And also, it talks about whether it is still in progress or whether it is completed. Perfect tense means the job is done, and continuous tense is when the job is in progress. And The time of action is whether it was done in the past, present, or future. You will be dealing more in details with this when we start tenses in the next lesson. Clear? So, okay. Now this, isn't it interesting? There are many pictures that I have gathered for you. Okay, look at the smile of the girl, of the baby. The baby smiled. Yes, let us make a sentence with the verb. I've given the verbs there. Okay, and with each picture, the baby smiled at me, and mother gave some berries to the little girl, and the little girl ate the berries. Yes, now the little boy fell down. Yeah, and he hurt himself, and the kids are ran to meet their mother. The kids ran to meet their mother, and I wrote a letter. Now we are going to look at these verbs. Now some of them are transitive and some of them are intransitive. Let me see how many of you remember. You must have studied them in class 5, isn't it? Transitive and intransitive verbs. Now you might have noticed that a few of these verbs are underlined. Which are the ones which I've underlined? Ate, gave, and wrote. These are underlined because they are transitive verbs. Very good. And the others, the ones which are not underlined, are intransitive verbs. Now, how do we identify whether they are transitive or intransitive? And what are transitive and intransitive verbs? Let's have a quick recap of that. Transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are the verbs that require an object to complete its action. That's a transitive verb. It needs an object. Without the object, it cannot do. Like a small boy cannot do without its mummy. The same way, a transitive verb cannot exist without an object. Fine. And an intransitive verb is free. It is a very independent one, intransitive, very free. So it does not need an object to complete its action. It is called intransitive. For example, let us look at an example. The transitive verb. He wrote a letter. Let's go to the previous, remember the pictures? Let's do a memory game. Remember? He wrote a letter. Now, wrote a letter is a transitive verb. She gave me some berries. Okay, so that is transitive. And intransitive, he fell down, the baby smiled, they ran fast, no object, object is missing. So therefore they are intransitive verbs. Okay, so transitive verbs need an object, intransitive verbs do not need an object. Clear? Let's get a clearer picture of this. Now let us look closely at transitive verbs and objects. Now a transitive verb can have one object and sometimes it can also have more than one object. Then what will it be? So a transitive object has an object, like for example she played the piano. That is a direct object. Now sometimes it also has two objects. One is a direct object and one is an indirect object. I will explain it. Okay, don't worry. Just understand this. Sometimes objects can be called direct. Some objects are direct objects. Some objects are indirect objects. And transitive verbs may have more than one object in a sentence. For example, she promised me a better salary. So, me is the indirect object and direct object is a better salary. So, the piano and a salary, a better salary. See, when you're including the objects, see, I've not just included piano. You have to include it with the article, the piano. And here also, a better salary, just not salary. Please note this, students. Whenever you have to identify the objects, you need to pick out the objects along with the meaning. The entire object, whatever is the entire object, that you need to pick out. Okay. So sometimes transitive verbs can have single objects. Sometimes they have more than an object, and they are called direct object and indirect object. Now let us understand how to identify which is a direct object and which is an indirect object. Clear? So here you have a tip to identify which is a direct object and which is an indirect object. A direct object will always answer the question what. See, objects means they are nouns. Okay, a noun can be a thing. It can also be a human being. When it is a living creature, it is an indirect object, and when it is an inanimate object, it is a direct object. Just simple as that. Will always answer the question what. An indirect object will always answer the question whom. Clear, students? So let us use this rule and try to identify. Okay, so here I have some examples for you for direct object and indirect object. We eat lunch at noon. So here, look at the first sentence. We eat what? Lunch. The policeman blew what? His whistle. Now, which is the verb? The verb is eat. In the next sentence, it is blew. What is the next verb? The verb in the third sentence, I shall bring the camera to. Bring is the verb. So you need to question with the verb. Bring what? The camera. So the camera is the direct object. The boy cut his hand, which is the verb cut. And so what is the direct object? His hand. Clear, understood? Now we move on to the indirect object. The teacher helped the student is the first sentence. Now in this sentence, tell me which is the verb. Teacher helped. So helped is the verb. So helped whom? The student. Tom finally caught. Caught is the verb. So caught whom? Jerry. Sarah loves her sister. So caught loves whom? Her sister. Akbar defeated his enemies. So defeated whom? His enemies. Now see, when I'm identifying the objects, look at the way I have identified. In the first sentence here in the direct object, lunch is single. But here in the next sentence, it is his whistle, the camera, his hand. I have not said only whistle, camera, hand. Got it, students? So when you're identifying the object, you need to identify the article or the pronoun along with it. Now, finally, we come to a sentence down below. You can see Ravi gave the book to his friend. Now, you tell me. You are going to tell me which is the direct object and which is the indirect object. And you can see this is an example of a sentence which has both a direct as well as an indirect object. So, do not get confused, students. I hope I'm very clear about it. Or shall I tell you the answer? The book is the direct object and his friend is the indirect object. Did your answer match with mine? Yes? Good. Very good. Smart child. That's all for today's lesson, students. So what have we learned? We have learned the different types of verbs based on functions, based on structure. Got it? And do not be confused with regular and irregular verbs. Learn it up. Regular verbs and especially the irregular verbs. Learn it up from your Renan Martin, the list of all the irregular verbs. Good. And then you also learnt about transitive and intransitive verbs. So what are intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs do not have any object. They do not depend upon any object to complete its action. And transitive verbs, they need the objects. So transitive verbs may have both direct and indirect object, and I have given you a tip to find out how to identify the direct as well as the indirect verbs. Got it? I think you're ready to go, I'm sure. So shall we try out the exercises in your book? Yes, your teacher will very soon tell you, and we will work out those exercises from your new grammar tree. Okay, so watch the video, read the book also, and refer to the Renan Martin and follow all the tips that were given in this video. Bye, students. Take care.